Nice. Niet meer plek, man. Dankie. Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Trying to get my water bottle to stand. Thank you for joining me here again on another beautiful day, for showing up and for believing that this space is important enough to actually do that. For not only showing me that you think it's important enough to be here, but for showing the world, for showing life itself that you find this space important. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have the PK. He's officially on vacation. I'm so happy to hear that, Brother Bear. You've been working so freaking hard. Every single one of us. Look at me. Look at me, PK. Every single one of us are proud of you, dude. You are an amazing inspiration to me, to Reddit as a whole, to all of us. Thank you so much for treating yourself to a vacation, man. Hey, look at this dude. It's so nice to have you here. Peppy Booty is so cutie. Yeah, she's chewing grass right now. She was chewing on this little bowl that was falling apart, and I was like, no, you're gonna get pieces of plastic in you if you continue chewing on that thing. I took it away from her, and she was very not happy about that. It's important. You are important to me, and I need to keep you safe, you silly thing. You silly, silly. You wanna see? Let me show you. Let me show you what this little shenanigans machine is up to. Look at her. Oh, so much, much. Are you gonna bite me? Oh no! Oh no, so bites. Oh, so much, much, much. So much, 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 much. You silly thing, you. Oh, you're such a silly. Oh, so much, 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 much. Oh, what are you gonna do? You gonna bite this finger? Ow, ow, ow. What, you're saying I'm lying? Oh, no, I want to see it. Ouch, ouch. Man, I love this little thing so much. Oh, so much, 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 much. Oh, so much, much. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me, friends. I got a cut on my thumb. Big one. Big one. It was a big yikes. And it's so crazy to me. Like, I want to share like 1,000 things again. But it's so crazy to me because I've been really getting injured this year, like over and over and over again. There's like against solid steel and getting like those lumps, those bruises underneath my skin that like hurts for days, and I had to like massage it for it to go away, which is pretty brutal. Or Peppy, hooks me with one of her little teethsies, or I'm getting like brutal calluses, or I'm scratching myself because of mosquito bites. And it's just like a situation after situation after situation where I'm drawing blood from myself. And I basically clean a French press like before my yoga session today. And as I'm cleaning it, I'm like trying to get the grounds out of the little, solid piece where the little mesh piece connect together. And I cut myself, and my sister is directly next to me, and I start lamenting about this cut I have on my finger. It's like one of those cuts where if you move your finger, you can feel your little nerves have been disconnected, and they're like, trying to reach the other side. And I was like, oh good. So she was like, you need a plaster. What are you gonna do? What's it? You need a plaster? And I was like, yes, please. So she went and got me one, and now my finger should be getting fixed. But now I was like trying to type my title today, and I was I can only use one finger. I'm so excited to be here with you, friends. Thank you for sharing this space with me, this moment with me. I want to talk about what's important. Not only what's important as I'm gonna tell you, like this, and this is what's important, but instead I'm gonna talk about life's nature to teach us what's important, to show us what's important, and how us showing life what's important to us basically gives life a direction into which is supposed to show us what's important. And it's been surreal to me. It's been surreal to me how showing up for what's important in my life has been opening up more and more levels of importance, if you will. Every single time we come here, every single time we have these moments, it strengthens that message that we're trying to put into the world of this is something that's important to me. This is something that I value. I'm not only saying it, but I'm actually doing it. I'm actually living in that way. I am. not pretending. It's just unfakeable. So thank you, friends, for being here with me. I cannot thank you enough. I played hooky today. You're staying home, toast. Like, please smoke for me. Um, I feel like I'm out of my hump, if you will, of like the difficult parts of not smoking. But dude, the dreams, darkness, the dreams are a little intense now again. So how do I want to share this story? This morning, for the last 3 days, I've had to wake up at like 4 a.m. to help my mom package rusks, which is no problem because I usually listen to a podcast while I'm doing that and then I get some more sleep afterwards. And today, after getting some more sleep, I had this dream where I was in the exact same space, except worst case scenario. Like there was this dude and like his physical appearance, like I believe physical appearance doesn't matter at all, but his physical appearance looked like he was someone who wasn't taking care of himself. Like he was an avid smoker and he was drinking a lot and he had bloodshot eyes and his skin was tattered and he had a big belly and his hair was kind of like buzz cut, but it was surreal. It was really weird. And he expected me to call him dad, and there was a woman as well who was his wife that was also a very interesting character. Like she was at least kind of compassionate. And I like basically found myself in this environment. I knew I was dreaming, oddly enough. I knew I was dreaming, but I was still very much there. And I like look throughout this environment and I go from room to room and I try and find a way to escape the space, and I couldn't exactly. So I go to my room and I find, he has destroyed all of my camera equipment. Like I don't even have camera. Like I have a small little camera that I've been using for the yoga, and he's like, it's like in bits in the room. And I'm like, that is so odd. I guess he doesn't want, any of the information that's happening in this space to get out into the world. And at that point, I realize that I'm dreaming. And in that dreaming state, the first thing that I do is my pot. Kom wys vir die mense hoe mooi lyk mamma. Look at how beautiful my mom is. Woo, woo, woo. Shh.
Ek kan nie sien nie.
Hallo mamma. Veilig ry.
So mooi.
Thank you, mama. My mom is on her way to Pretoria, so she just wanted to say goodbye. Baba is the song. Sorry, Susa.
My krampakkies kos in my tante kan.
Ek sal vir julle doen. Die vir jou, veilig ry. And the first thing that I do is I'm fascinated with drawers. Because I realize I'm dreaming and my instinct is to like challenge myself. I'm like, okay, if I'm dreaming, what is that gonna mean for my environment? So I go to drawers and I'm like, and I think to myself, is my brain going to fill in something in this drawer? Is it going to fill in what I have in the drawers? Because I know the drawer. I know exactly where the drawer is in my house and in my environment. And I pull this drawer open and there's nothing that is in the real environment in that drawer. Like a bunch of weird things. And I'm like, hey puppy. Hey puppy. And I'm like, that's weird. That's so weird, that my brain, can fill in this random ass drawer with random ass information that I didn't even have originally. And I basically start packing a bag to try and, escape this space. And in doing so, like after having, found all of my equipment broken, I see that they left their cell phones in the room as well. And I take the cell phones and I put it through the window and I like flick it. I flick the cell phones into who knows where. And I wake up from that state and I was like, that is kind of odd. But just before I had that dream, I was listening to a podcast where one of the podcast members was basically sharing a dream that he has, a reoccurring dream that he has, where he finds himself as an adult man back in school. And as he's back in school, he feels very limited. He feels like he can't do the things that he's wanted to do. All of the things that are important to him in his adult life is suddenly ripped from him in a worst case scenario kind of way. And then he realizes as well in the dream that he's dreaming, and he realizes he's an adult man and he's been living his life and he has the freedom. And then he wakes up, and that feeling, that experience of having seen the worst case scenario informs him that his current scenario is one that's not the worst case scenario. And I was like, how is it possible that I had the same dream, completely different context, but literally what, 20 minutes, maybe 30, no, maybe 40 minutes after hearing this podcast. I guess I was just planting, seeds in my subconscious mind, and it was trying to experiment. But it was fascinating. It was so fascinating because, again, it showed me what I find is important. My family, the family I have, the people I have in my life, you friends, having things in the way that they are right now is what's important to me. And having it anywhere else would have been, less important, or would have been less than ideal, worst case scenario. And I basically go into my day. I'm still kind of a little bit tired, been tired. I feel like there is a lot of energy getting sapped from me in my dream state as well. But it was just over and over again, as I came back into the real world, if you will, having these moments showing me what's important, like as in the world is showing me what's important, where I'm usually the one that tries to find what's important to myself. And as soon as I realize just how the information we consume, the things we keep kind of like pursuing, the like there's this beautiful saying, what you observe, you become what you observe. I think that's the saying. You become what you observe. And it was like instantly, like, it became super clear to me. And I've been going through this day with that energy, and I want to share it with you friends. But before I read your comments and say hi to all of you friends, sorry. I'm not, ranting a little bit. I want to say a thing we're saying. We use our momentary consciousness to say we are this and not that. We use our momentary consciousness to say we are this and not that. Our momentary consciousness to say this is important and that is not important. Man, how freaking cool. Thank you so much. Hey, Melita, we don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. Freaking so cool. Thank you, Melita. Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful bit of wisdom. Luckily, there's no more to you than you. There's more to you than you think. Oh, that's true. Human beings are bigger on the inside than we are on the outside, friend. Man, I will never forget that on P quote. Thank you so much for joining me again, PK. It's so nice to have you. Dry is here as well. How's school, my friend? Dude, man, it's been a while since you've been here. Thank you for joining us. Can we get old school Melty dancing his heart out stream? So, I think 2 days ago we had a old, Melty dancing his heart out stream. The thing is, PK, unfortunately, a lot of people assume I'm on extreme amounts of drugs. And if I dance like that, people assume even harder that I'm on an extreme amount of drugs. And I don't want people to build that narrative in their heads, because I want people to understand that everything I am, everything that we are, all of us are. I'm not any more special than you are. I have five little fingers, a pair of ears, a mouth, and eyes, and I think things. I have dreams and aspirations. I love. I hate sometimes. I'm just a human being, and I want people to realize that they have access to all of this capacity. They have access to dance. They have access to the conversations that we're having, and it bothers me that people instantly assume and then basically disappear that I am the way I am because of drugs. So the dancing, I feel, like from a brand managing perspective, that I shouldn't be doing it. It hurts me sometimes, PK. I do dance for myself though. I love dancing still. Isaac, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. He shared his meditation spot, and it's this stream, and this is this literal scenic scene of like basically like forested area. There's snow, there's water running, there's like little birds chirping in the background. And I look at this, and I genuinely feel like I'm looking into a whole different world. And as I think that, as I feel into that realization, I'm like, it is. It quite literally is a whole different world. Isaac's whole world. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, PK, for sharing the never gonna leave this place. I appreciate the love you share, my friend. Thank you so much. And I did one on Wednesday. They were right. Thank you, Aunt B, for letting our friend know. He, not it. It. It did one. I mean, you know, like I believe I'm a he, but that's the first time I think that award has ever been used, Brother Bear. So thank you so much. Genuinely, thank you so much. Friends, I don't think that I can ever express how meaningful this space has been to me. Thank you more for all of you showing up. Thank you, Ryan. You're a part of this now, my friend. Like genuinely, the way I've been able to express ever since you've came into this space has been influenced by you. You have allowed me to be even more fully myself. You have allowed me to believe in myself. You have shown me that this journey that we're on as a collective is something that we're supposed to be doing. You know, it's so hard for us. We look for importance in things in this way where we worry that we're not doing what's important. And I worried for a long time. I knew intrinsically for a long time I wasn't doing what was important in this financial pursuit that I was in. You know, like, oh, I've been in a state of low abundance, you know, my entire childhood. Now I'm gonna live my own life and become a millionaire and man. And that was not what's important. And I'm so happy. I'm so grateful to have found what's important to me. And the fact that you friends find this space important as well is a genuine blessing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ryan, for everything you do as well, my friend. Ninja Peach. Love you, my friend. We have Wary Pangolin. Thank you for the heartwarming, friend. That's so nice of you. Again, thank you for the love is true, my friend. Whew, love is true. Man, I'm like giddy. I feel like I'm exploding with love. Y'all check out the new Love is True Community Award in honor of Melt and more. Tips hat. Thank you, friends. That's for all of us. Love is true. That one, PK. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing your abundance. You are important to me. Mariah, you are important to me, my friend. Thank you. You and your little boys. Like I look forward to seeing these dudes as men one day. You know, like I know that's gonna be years. I was thinking today, you know, what it's gonna be like if I'm 20 years older. Like I'm a 44-year-old man, still doing what we're doing. Like what am I gonna be? You know, and then knowing that alongside me, you know, all of our well, we're all going to grow older, and you know the kids that are being born with us in this space are going to become, you know, full-fledged human beings of their own, little fruit cup. I think about Bubby and Emma. I think about, you know, uh, Aunt B's, not Aunt B, sorry. I think about Kira Burb's little kids. Think about London. I think about you, Mariah. I think about Justin. I think about Ryan, of course. Like I cannot even imagine. I cannot even imagine what it's going to be like of us growing together in this space, making this love is true idea, you know, of the utmost importance in our lives, and being able to, with that understanding, teach that understanding to our kids and how they are going to help us change this world as well. I'm tripping out. I'm straight up tripping out. I drank a coffee. I drank a coffee and I'm in a fasted state and I'm straight up tripping out. I cannot thank you friends enough. Thank you. I'm out of coins. Me too. Me too, Odd B. But PK is fortunately highly popular, so the man has coins. Thank you, PK, for sharing that abundance with us, my friend. I had a dream that I could do 50 pull-ups. It was especially weird. That was it. I think my body is telling me I have new goals. 50 pull-ups, dude. 100%. Like 50 pull-ups is doable, Toast. And I would love for you if you can do that, man. Just so that you can have that strength. And I mean, don't force yourself to try and do 50 pull ups in a single setting or session because I can't even do that. I do, you know, like 50 to 60 pull ups throughout the entire day and about 110 push ups throughout the entire day. I have like a 5 second, hey, dude, do push ups little alarm on my phone right now. And then no matter what I'm doing, I drop down and I do a few push ups and then I go about my business again. and it helps me kind of spread that load and that fatigue out over the day. Technically I might lose some of the benefits of, a high heart rate and the exercise, or, really pumping your muscles up as well, but I feel, spreading that out is even better. All of you friends, Mariah, you, Wesson was talking about having a beard last night. I secretly started crying of the joy to watch him grow into a young man and being all proud of his beard, Lamal. How beautiful is that? Mariah, like, oh goodness. You see, like, just the more I show up in this space, the more you friends share with me, and like I feel like my perspective gains a little bit more width. I cannot even imagine, having a kid and him saying something like that to me. Like, yeah, sure, I trip out every single time I think about having children, but the fact that, my kids will have to grow up and be men of their own, have beards of their own, have to shave for themselves. So freaking cool, Mariah. Thank you for sharing it with me. That's freaking awesome. It is, right? Right? It blows my mind. Hey, Shanky. Thank you. I'm doing this for you, my friend. So I don't want to embarrass you too much. But Shansky was has been sharing and has been showing up for this space for a while now, and has been just been observing, been lurking, if you will, and was willing to send me a message today. So, like, I told him or her, it doesn't really matter. We'll be showing up for you. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you. Uncle Becky made it last night. That he did. Like, I, again, on the showing up today and getting into this day and like answering all of my messages, and then seeing, the tag on the Haywire Hill subreddit, and then seeing this love is true and life is like, this is what's important. Are you looking? Are you looking? This is what's important. What's important? Love is in fact true. Thank you so much. Ninja Nanner is here as well. We're equally grateful for you being here, brother. Always put a smile on my face, seeing your name, as it is to see yours. Like, instantly, reading your name just made me so happy. So, first, you are first, PK. You are the very first. Agreed, and good morning to the Fruit fam. Are you over the agitation part? Toast? I think so. I'm tired, and I feel that could be a little bit of agitation, but I feel I'm over the agitation part a little bit. I'm like, like the reason I started smoking weed in the first place is because I have too much energy. And I shared this with my mom yesterday. I had a phone call with Ryan that was really beautiful. And as I'm trying to share some of the things that we shared, I share a little bit, and then my mind goes in that direction. And then I was sharing that little bit because I wanted to share, I was giving context to share a bit at the other thing. And I'm like, okay, I shared the thing that I wanted to share, but I didn't, completely share what I originally wanted to share. And then I tell my mom, I kind of want to be smoking weed just to slow myself down. Just like shooting that frequency just a little bit down so I can think about a thing for a second, and then I can move on to the next thing. So I understand, what it's doing to me, Toast. Being sober again. It's fun. It's fun. It's a ride. Toasty, I'm coming to Phoenix, I think, in a couple of weeks as I drive to Sedona. We'll hit you up for sure on the Discord to see if it works out, if have a meal. Oh, dude, please, Ryan. I can only imagine, dude. I've been wanting to take a Sedona trip soon. There we go. Let's start manifesting. Thank you, friend. You're incredible and an impeccable addition to the space, as you are as well. Man, I don't like. Do tell me if you don't like that. I like every single time I say that, I'm projecting it onto you as well. You are wise, Isaac. Thank you so much for joining us. Toasty, you're in Phoenix. You should meet up with Reddit gang from the Monson room. I'm not exactly sure about that, PK. Like, not that I don't want him to do that. I just don't know what the monsoon room is. Please do share with us. I love that you specified this moment. This moment is amazing. I wanna breathe and calm down a little bit. I feel like I'm running a million miles an hour. Okay. Airborne army guy himself. I just left Sudwana in the Phoenix area, about to check out Tombstone. Hmm. I think I've heard of that. Tombstone. Is it like a big one? Is it an actual tombstone of someone who has passed? Is it a significant place? Does it has, some sort of spiritual significance, historical significance? Please do share, and thank you for joining us, Airborne. It's been so nice having you here, my friend. I don't know if you're still here, but we've missed you. You will work something out. Melt Mom, what a beautiful dress. I believe she made that herself as well. I might be wrong on that, but I do believe that she made that one herself. Please tell her safe travels. I see a pillar. Like I saw kind of like the top of a pillar, like a flat part, and then marble kind of, and it connects to the little round part, and then it had little stripes down. So thank you for the support. I appreciate that so much, Aunt B. Safe travels, Mama Mel. Mama got mad drip, right? Like it's of course. I mean, she's been one of the biggest inspirations for me when it comes to you know like dressing well. She doesn't really approve of me doing stuff like this, where I where I have a bunch of random scarves, that doesn't match colors. But now more so than ever, since I'm turning, my outfits into works of art, I feel when it's extremely contrasted, it makes it even more beautiful. Hey, Jovan! So nice to have you here, my beloved friend. Thank you for joining us. Never! On B. Uh, Unfortunately, my mind, is still very much monkey. Agitation. Turn down. Airborne. Are you all charged up from Sedwana? I hope so. I'm in day 3 of the tea break. Dreams started to get intense. Been having a lot of stressful dreams, a lot of break ins where I can't move or needing to defend someone I can't. I haven't had dreams in that context, but I'm sending you strength, Isaac. Thank you for sharing that with us as well, my friend. I feel like the dreams are one of the biggest things we have to deal with when we stop soaking again. Thank you, Uncle Becky, for giving us this space. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to you and Uncle Becky for giving us the space. There we go. Thank you, Ninja, for joining us in this space, my friend. Ooh, that's beautiful, Mama. Thank you, Isaac. I'll be sure to tell her. Yep, very intense dreams on tea break for me as well. Yeah, for me too. For me too. Like I'm on. I think I'm on officially day 7 today. Yeah, it's day 7. So like I'm a week in, and I had today for the first time what I would consider intense dreams. Like I feel all of the previous dreams were mostly nice, like they were kind of well informed. I feel it was beneficial as well, even though the actual context of the dream was kind of anxiety inducing. Yeah. Like just keep showing up, my friend. We're gonna get through this. Like try and draw as much information from those dreams as we can. Always have to pay respects to Uncle Becky and Aunt B. So I have so much gratitude for the gift to us, genuinely. Like Uncle Becky, as well shared a video with me that he edited, and he even typed out his words, which is a lot of work. And like a year ago, me and him have basically been started talking context of us being light buddies. So I would like to bring that into our awareness again of what's important to us. I live in South Africa, as you friends know, which means that when I have daylight, our friends in America, since it's the morning hours for you and it's 4:34 for me right now. 4:34 for me right now. Like by the time it's nighttime with me, you still have daylight. So because we are these beings of light, we have the capacity to share love and light from our cores, and we have the light of the sun to illuminate our days and are keeping us awake, and we have the ability to touch one another by forming a light buddy system with someone. no matter where we are in the world, no matter what time it is in the world, there is always going to be someone perpetually sharing love into this world, with that intention of trying to create an even better world for us tomorrow, a better world for our children and for our children's children, instead of trying to just take from this world, trying to shine into it. Well, you're maybe a tiny subconscious paranoid about people touching your shit. Maybe, Toast. I wouldn't actually put that past myself. I'm not too paranoid about it, like on a real note. At least I'm less paranoid about it than I've ever been. Like the laptop that I'm using for the yoga sessions, for example, was the laptop I bought for myself before I went to China, and it served me very well in China. But when I came back, I used the money that I gained in China to buy myself a proper computer, because for the longest time I believed that that is what I wanted. I believed that that was important. Yeah, I'm gonna get a good monitor and a graphics card, and then I'm gonna be able to play games at high frame rates. Little did I know, I wasn't gonna play games anymore. And looking back now, I wish I didn't make that financial decision. I think I could have, used that money more efficiently. But that in and of itself really taught me something important in the context of, no matter what I buy, no matter how expensive it is, no matter how much I think I want it, it is not going to provide me everlasting happiness. Nothing other than, human connection is going to provide me everlasting happiness. And if I didn't go through that process of really, looking at myself and looking at my expectations and, value, if you will, in buying something material, I maybe wouldn't have had the understanding I have right now. So I wouldn't undo that either. What is important is relevant to the individual. Absolutely, Natalie. I couldn't agree more. Know that you're important to me. You are relevant to this individual, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I'm looking forward to watching your little boys grow as well. Thank you. Like, Natalie has shared a photo with me. Like, I haven't, she asked me not to share it again. And out of respect, I didn't, but I think I can maybe just tell you. I think like he slipped on mud and he had like this, like Spider-Man pose, and just like seeing into that world, seeing this little entity, this divine being, being so absolutely enthralled, muddy, slippery, getting his hands dirty. Just I saw myself again as a little kid. Hey, the Great American Fallout. I don't think I've seen you before, my friend. How long until I can dream when I stop smoking? For me, it was like 4 days, friend. Pretty much 4 days. I can't remember the last time I remembered a dream. It's beneficial, and technically, you still dream, even if you're smoking. I believe your short-term memory just gets a little bit affected, so you're less likely to retain the dreams after you wake up. Oh, this is Airborne Army guy. That makes sense. Thank you so much, my friend. So I would recommend it 100%. Like, I'm on day 7 right now. I'm planning on going for 24 days this time around. The last time we smoked was on day 420, and I'm gonna smoke on stream on day 444 again. I'm probably gonna get absolutely devastated, but we'll be here together for it. For me, it was the night I started my tea break. Oh well, I mean, there you have the full spectrum. So you can expect it to be the same day. You could expect it to be 4 days later, maybe a week later, maybe a month later. I feel you need to feel into that for yourself as well. Do you get the sweats? No. Fortunately, not anymore. When I was taking antidepressants, I had the sweats and night terrors, and I would have like sleep paralysis where I would try and wake myself up from being pinned down, and I would scream. And I would scream so loud that my parents would hear me from across the house. Like, I live outside of the house, and there's a garage area, and there's the kitchen, then there's a hall, and there's a room, a bathroom, another room, my parents' room, and they could hear me screaming from their room, and they would burst into my room, and they would find me screaming, and they would wake me up. Antidepressants were no joke to me. So fortunately not. I also drench the bed when I take a break. Maybe it's because of the amount of intensity that you experience in your dreams, and I completely see that as well. Like the dreams become very intense. You know, and the thing is, I genuinely enjoy partaking of marijuana, and I actually enjoy having less intense dreams because it influences me so much that it almost zaps some of the energy of my waking life. So, like, we're not saying that you have to do one thing or another, or it's important for you to take a break. It's just, it's important for you to be aware of your own usage. Alexandre, how nice it is to have you here, my friend. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you progressing? Like you, I think you know what I'm asking about, but I'll let you answer me, friend. Thank you for joining us. Each of us here are making it possible. So grateful for you, friends. So grateful for every single one of you, friends. Genuinely. What's the temp today? Probably pretty cold. Minus 20 degrees Celsius. Just warmed up to minus 17. Oh, that's significant. I can't. Unfortunately, I cannot imagine it. It sounds cold. Very cold. By smoking, we experience the dream while we are awake. Hmm. Hmm. That's a good point. Okay. So it's weird to me that you say that, Airborne Army guy, because as of late, I've felt very weird. You know, like my waking life is the actual dream, the actual game, the actual trip, if you will. You know, and I've had access and a significant amount of psychedelic experience, like around 150 individual trips. And every single time I go into that mindset, it reminds me that yes, you can benefit a lot from that. You can gain some perspective in that psychedelic experience. But the perspective that I gain is that this is the trip, this experience. Everything around you is psychedelic already. Oh goodness. Mm, there we go. Feeling good, but also very daunted. I got a new job this week, but also buying an apartment. A lot of big life changes. Alexandre, I'm so proud of you, my friend. Thank you for being willing to share those amazing advancements with us. But mostly material advancements, no problem, friend. Even if it's material advancements, if it's gonna cause you more comfort, if it's gonna allow you a position, a space in which you can feel more into your own development, then please, please, you deserve that, my friend. For sure, Melt. I straight up traumatized myself in my dreams. But having lucid dream practice, I can remember the separation. That's good, Mariah. I'm happy that you're saying that as well, because that's the same thing that I noticed today allowed me a little bit of disconnection. Because even though I found myself in a space that was a little bit daunting, potentially traumatizing, I was like, yeah, but I'm dreaming, so don't get traumatized. It's funny. It's like, oh, just don't get traumatized because we all, every single human being has trauma. All of us do, and all of us have these perspectives. All of us have these scars, if you will, and a lot of us just kind of deal with it because we don't necessarily have the means or the understanding to try and resolve that pain within inside of us, and it can, cause a lot of turmoil in our kids at the end of the day, and sometimes, to the point where they're still infants, they're still babies, and yet they're aware of the amount of turmoil and pain that we might be going through, and it can perpetuate. So it's more important than ever for us to try and resolve these issues within inside of ourselves so that we can be more full, more clear, I feel is a good word as well, unobstructed version of ourselves. Thank you, Mariah, for sharing. The pain of trauma can be paralyzing, but it can be the fuel for to make big changes. Absolutely, Alexandre. If you're willing to do that, I've been seeing the holograms lately. I know exactly what you're talking about. Keep paying attention, Airborne. Keep paying attention, my friend, and life will keep giving you things that you need to be paying attention to. I appreciate you so much for joining us here again. You've been so missed, and it feels, like you never left the space. Thank you for joining us. Melt. Okay, wait. You are what you absorb reminds me of someone that said, we aren't what we eat, we are what we digest. Ooh, also true for our environment. What a good point that is. I've never thought about that. Not necessarily. Oh, what you? What? Okay, so it's crazy to me that you mentioned that as well, because today I went to the freezer and I opened it up and I looked at the meat, and there's like about as much meat as there is me, and I was like, yes, I wanna put that meat in myself. And then I was like, no, technically it doesn't work that way because you only absorb like 20 to 30% at most of the protein. So it's more about how much of it you can digest. And I was kind of like comically talking to myself like that. And the fact that you mentioned that, I feel like is this moment of recognition. We're not what we eat, we're what we're digesting. And technically we digest things on a mind level as well by thinking about them, by assigning a importance to one thing or another, creating a narrative about it, telling ourselves that story. My last relationship and its ending hurt me so much. The pain was so intense, but made me move my butt on so many things. Hey, hey, you're hurting me. It's crazy to me that, trauma can do that as well for us. Like in this podcast that I was listening today, this one of the speakers was talking about fear being something that you can use for good, and specifically in the context of getting us to move. Like there is one of three responses to fear, like stopping, like freezing, backing away, or moving forward. And how you process fear, like the correct way, the important way to process fear is to move forward within it. And you're doing that, my friend, regardless of the fear you might be feeling, on a context of, am I going to be able to find a love like that again? Am I going to feel that way with someone again? Am I worthy of feeling that way with someone again? Instead of being paralyzed, instead of regressing, you're moving forward. I see that, and I honor you for that, Alexandre. Thank you so much, my friend. Usually go through all three phases. We all do. We all do. But as soon as we recognize that those phases happen with us, we can make an intention to actually move forward. Well said, Mel. Every time I eat blueberries, I think this one goes out to my brains. Them antioxidants. Like for me as well. Like I just imagine all of these antioxidants, destroying my free radicals. I'm like, yeah, blueberries. Do you get it? Okay, to be paralyzed for a while. Have you checked out Brother Sanchez? Seriously think you would enjoy his work. I don't think I have. Would you be willing to send me a link to his work? Please. You absorb. Mel, you are so full of energy and seem so bright today. It's an absolute pleasure to see. Thank you, Isaac. I'm so happy to be able to share this back with you, friends. Like I mentioned this to Ryan. The more we share with one another, and the more abundant we feel, and the more loving we feel, and the medium or scenario or situation I'm in actually allows me to give that back. Instead of just being, wow, life is great for myself, I can be like, oh wow, friends, isn't life great? And it's an honor. It genuinely is an honor. Thank you, friends, for being in this moment with me. Get your flip flops and swim trunks. Oh, it's gonna have the minus 17. Yeah, I mean it's five times hotter. Better get out there. Some of my favorite little bits of wisdom are the ones that sound incredibly simple at first, but the ones you think about, the rabbit hole is bottomless. Whew. It is that way, Toast. Like I feel we human beings want things to be complicated sometimes, in the way where if something isn't complicated, we don't see it as that valuable. But being able to give a little dog scritches and her, getting some serotonin and definitely a little bit of oxytocin, it's so simple, you know? Like I don't have to rationalize it in another way. Masha, masha, masha. Oh, you rest up, okay? You sleep a little bit. The most simple things can be the most beautiful. And yet, infinite complexity wherever we look. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why we want it to be complex, Toast. We're like, yes, look at all of this complexity. You know, billions, maybe let's say millions, millions of little lignin cells holding water, building structures, photosynthesizing on a little bit of grass. And we're like, yes, the meaning of life has to be complicated because look at how complex everything is. And then, in fact, just love is true, dude. Just love is true. Do I have a song for you? Please do. Send it to us, man. I would love that. I'm on a boat to my lonely island. Yes. Weirdly enough, Ninja Nanner, like Lonely Island was something that I found in high school, and the I think the is it crack or the meth song? I think one of those. Like it was so surreal. It's so jarring, and I'm an adult, of course. It was just amazing, and then me and my friends would because we had this inner knowledge. If someone was to tune us something, we would just be like, "I'm an adult," with us being like 14-year-olds. It was perfect. Meltmore, I can relate. My first festival after becoming a parent. My favorite band played and I danced my soul out in the field, completely sober. Many people asked if I could hook them up because it was wild. Like, it's crazy to me that that happens, Natalie. Is people assume, they assume 100%. Like, I've had that happen to me time after time after time again at festivals, where at the end of the festival, people will come to me and ask me, what did you do to be the way you are? And I'm like, well, I ate some mushrooms. And they're like, and I'm like, well, that's all I did. I smoked joints as well. Sorry, I smoked a few joints, and I ate like 2 grams of mushrooms over this weekend. And they're like, no, but that can't be it. And I'm like, yeah. I'm just a human being, yo. You can do it as well. You just have to allow yourself. You have to not worry about what other people's gonna think about you if you allow yourself to express yourself freely. Because, true self expression usually comes with so much doubt, from the outside world where they're like, how do you how do you express yourself like that? How dare you? Who do you think you are? You think you are who you are? How dare you? Oh yes, I could see how sleep paralysis could give opportunity for the body to do some physical healing. It also kind of like unplugs your brain from your body so that if you're running around, you're not just like frantically kicking your legs or something. But it's definitely there for healing as well. That's his YouTube channel, Brother Sanchez. Thank you. If I remember, I'll go and check him out. Bloodborne Army guy. Like, there's so much information being channeled through my brain in this space that I feel like I can get a little bit melted into it, if you will. I feel like what's important changes per person and with different experiences. The bare bones of what's important is the same, but the rest is so dependent on one's perspective. With a child, a bit of what I thought was important has shifted. Like, I'm curious as well, Ninja Peach. Like, you have probably shifted in your understanding of what's important to you, and I can't even imagine how much your understanding of what's important for others have shifted as well. Like, your perspective on another human being has to completely change when you bring another one into this life. Thank you for giving your body as a portal to existence, to Little Fruit Cup. Talking about, little beings. Pippi is like stretching herself out, trying to push my water over, it seems. Nope, even better. But no T-Pain. Flip flops by Slow Coaster. Oh, goodness. So, what's the trigger word for the bot? Flip. Flip is the trigger word. Your energy is on point, your vibe is on point. People connect to that, and that is shifting context of this stream to me. Shining context of this stream to me. Mixed to death. It's what's important to us. I keep showing you Pippi because she's melting my heart with her cuteness. Oh, you little sweetheart. She's so important to me. So freaking important to me. After my nap today, like she like I basically take her little bed with me, and then I wake up from my nap, and the first thing I think is I want to give Pippi some scritches, and I give her some scritches, and she wakes up, and her little tail starts wagging, and she's like still kind of sleepy, sleepy. So she starts like stretching herself out as I'm giving her scritches. Man, to be a little peppy. Oh goodness, how lucky you are. Oh, so lucky, lucky. What? What? You gonna try and bite me now? Huh? Hmm? Calm down. Boopty boopty boop boopty boop snoop snoop boopty snoop snoop boopty snoop snoop boop doop boop boopty boop doop boop boop snoop. What are you doing? Snoop boop boopty snoop boopty boop 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 snoop boop. Staring into my soul. Okay, I'm so distracted and I love it. Okay, okay. Wonder if it's flip. I banned it. Thank you. Yeah, it's taking up some space. It's cute the first like I think one time, but then it's like okay, I get the point. If it's a flip, it is. My dreams are like that, with or without. Hmm. That's unfortunate. Like, do you try lucid dreaming in that case, Ninja Peach? Because that's what I'm thinking now. From what our friend has shared, Mariah has shared, to try and keep yourself lucid if you're having those bad dreams, to realize that you are actually dreaming instead of being completely invested in what's happening. Good morning, Lisa. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Way to uplift mix when you come back often. Definitely, definitely. Mix to Dev has been a beautiful part of this journey as well, Ryan. It's so nice to have you here again, my friend. Vernon. My guided meditation had an awesome statement today. Everything we know is a modification of that which is knowing. Mm. Everything we know is a modification of that which is knowing. Everything we know. Because, like, and we've shared this as well, fundamentally, that knowing is all permeating. And knowing something is basically knowing something within that ultimate knowing as a modification to it, a filter to it. Thank you so much, Wyzik. I appreciate you, my friend. I love being an individual in a larger collective. It's such an amazing experience being here. It's an amazing experience having you here, my friend. Like you are such an amazing part of this quarry. We love you so much, my friend. So true. It literally helps tackle my day. Glad you stopped by. Glad you are here as well on B. Thank you so much. So intense on B, sending love and light. I'm going to show my lack of upper body strength right now, that I've been hanging on the monkey bars to work up, to pull up, to do a full pull up. That's amazing. Like, just that in and of itself, hanging is something that, has a lot of benefits. So not even pulling yourself up, just hanging for like 30 seconds a day has amazing benefits, because we don't actually ever extend our arms like that. So it has a lot of benefit to do it. Mashi, 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 mash, 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 mash. I have days. Oh, bless you. I have days where I recall something and I don't know if I dreamed it or if it happened. I've had that happen to me quite a bit as well, Ninja Peach. But I feel it's usually, it doesn't last long. Like, I think about it for a second and then I'm like, no, that was in fact a dream. I swear. Dreamt? Is that the right word? If I dreamt it or if it happened. Yeah, I think dreamt might be the right word, but that's okay. You got it. Hello from Mumbai, man. SR VATS? SRI VATS? Serotonin reuptake inhibitor VATS. That's a big yikes. Thank you for joining us, my friend. I don't know if I'm saying your name wrong. Maybe S Rivets. Maybe it would be better. It's nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining us. Hello from Minnesota. Nice to see you again. Wosei or Wosai, it's been a while, friend. Thank you for joining us again. It's nice to have you here. How are you doing? Hello from Idaho. Happy to see you, friend. There's no way in hell you seem agitated. I'm a doomer 24/7. I wonder what I seem like. You're doing fine, friend. Thank you for sharing love with me. If you don't think I am agitated, then maybe you're not that agitated either, friend. Maybe you're doing fine. Maybe you're just stripping yourself out because you're agitated. And that agitated state is making you think that you're more agitated than you are. Deep breaths. I have to do that all through the day. Me too. Me too, legitimately. And it's been such a blessing going through these yoga classes with Ryan because he's been teaching me the importance of breath. Like there's this quote as well that goes, "True mastery is mastery of breath." Just that. True mastery is mastery of breath, and it's something that these two speakers. I'm sorry if I'm not remembering their names, but these two speakers said in the podcast today as well. Is how technically we have these neurons, in our brain that have the function, have the job of breathing ourselves, actively breathing ourselves. And then in a moment, we can take hold of that neuronal pattern and we can actually breathe for ourselves. And we know without a doubt that focusing on our breathing benefits us. It's like activating a neuronal pathway on purpose instead of just having that neuronal pathway ebb and flow as it might. It's a conscious attention. I'll work on that, lol. That's the best way, friend. That's the best way. The bird be singing. There was a bird eating the dog's pellets today. And as he was eating the pellets, he was letting his friends know that he was having a vibe eating pellets. And he was just singing, and his singing was echoing in the garage area. And I literally paused the class I was, watching just to kind of listen to this bird singing. And it was so intricate. So intricate. Like he wasn't just like saying this or like, oscillating in a chip 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 way. He was like singing something. He was creating these different tones, different frequencies. It was absolutely gorgeous. Tombstone is an old western town close to the border of Mexico and Arizona. It's a modern tourist attraction now. Okay. Old western town. I would love to go to that as well. Just to see, into a whole another world. Self care for the win. There we go, Aunt B. Thank you for supporting that, truth as well. This seems like a parallel universe. Maybe it is, friend. There is this world, in which love might not be true, and then there's this world in which love is true. And we're choosing to live into the world where love is in fact true. It's supposed to be a burial place for outlaws like what EARP or WE. Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with history in general. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe not. Who knows? Thank you for letting me know, though, Tess. The more I know, the more we know. You're welcome to hang around as long as you'd like, definitely, my friend. That's so cool. Meld has the human equivalent of zoomies. Yes, I do. I do have the zoomies right now, didn't you, Peach? He's got the love zoomies. I do. You friends and your friends, like, I wasn't feeling like this. Not quite like this, beforehand. And as I came into this space, Toast was like, "Hey, what's up, dude? What's up? Love is true." Oh, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then PK was like, "Hey, oh, love is true." And then it's just like cranking this wheel, adding more and more momentum, adding more wood to the fire in our hearts, lighting the fire and not surrendering our flame. Thank you so much, friend, for being here with me. Didn't know, and thanks for teaching me something new today. Thank you, Lisa, for being here to learn. I find myself much more reactionary and quick to getting angry during this tea break. Really frustrating, but trying to be calm and gentle. I've been going through the same, Isaac. And like, you're going on day 2. So day 4 was the day where my aggression. Was it day 4? Maybe day 3 was where my aggression peaked, to the point where I wanted to address a whole stream to that anger I was feeling. So know that you're in alignment, friend. How is your head? I believe that it might have passed, but thank you for joining me. Warning though, we will attack you with genuine unconditional love. That is true, friend. And we will also expect nothing of you other than you be happy. My goodness. That's a lot, that's tall order, I know, but we want you to be happy, friend. I honestly love the nickname. It makes me giggle every time. And I've never had a fun nickname. Why Zik it is, friend. You are so loved. Thank you for joining us, genuinely. I hope the Love is True award is animated for y'all. Melty heart wobbles in the middle. I don't think it is. Not just yet. At least the one on my screen isn't. I hope it is for you, friends. Part of the ride, I've been trying to notice when I'm getting angry and just let out as deep of a breath as I can and push out all the anger. So, one of the tips this podcast gave this morning is that one of the biggest ways to relieve ourselves of any built up tension when you feel your mind isn't working in the way that it's supposed to, instead of trying to use your mind to wrangle in your mind, you use your body as a medium to remind yourself of mind. So again, by taking control over your breathing, function, you are making yourself aware of a bodily function that your mind has control over, instead of trying to control your mind with your mind. And then one of the breathwork exercises you can do is helps with anger as well. Please do try it. Sending you calm. You got this. Something Nelson told me, and it really helped. Every time you feel your body craving or becoming agitated because it's not getting what it's used to, just imagine that it is your body healing and getting stronger. Ooh, I like that. And in that way, you can kind of akin it to having pain or having a sense of discomfort when you are healing. If like you don't hurt, if you have a cut on yourself, that is bad. Like that is not something that you actually want. So I love that actually, Toast. Thank you for sharing it. Actually, that's a lie. I was called Wheezy for a long time in high school, definitely due to weed and my Weezer bumper stickers. Wheezy. I've never heard that one before, so it's a nice one as well. We'll pass. So remember, Grace, absolutely. Freaking love Weezer. I don't know who Weezer is either, unfortunately. That's a good technique. I will try to keep this in mind. Thank you. Excited for tonight. Ooh, yeah, you friends are having your call tonight, right? Isn't that right? Thank you for sharing, Toasty. Genuinely. I like this. Just leveling up. We're constantly leveling ourselves up. And the way that I imagine it is we're all awareness, right? Fundamentally, this you can call it a bowl of awareness. And then as we are aware of things, we put this ego layer onto it. And that becomes the story we tell ourselves. So we are addressing, that awareness and maybe in some ways that ego as well. And the more we share with one another, the more perspective we have, the more that awareness almost bleeds through, it grows to the point where it could even encapsulate, melt away that ego layer to the point where we are, as ego, awareness. And I feel every single time I come into this space and the more and more I learn from you friends, the more and more aware I become. And it can be a little bit daunting sometimes. And then I do things like cut myself accidentally to remember I'm human and body again. But we are awareness. And I appreciate you friends for helping, grow in your awareness, helping me grow in mine. This helps me more than anything available. Breathing on B. It's so beneficial. Becoming stronger is often uncomfortable. That it is. That it is. I don't think becoming stronger is ever not uncomfortable, Toast. Is it? Like I'm trying to think now. All of the circumstances where I became stronger, and this is potentially a stream topic in and of itself, but the difference between action and inaction, where inaction causes temporary relief in you won't have to experience as much discomfort, but you pay the price of feeling like you didn't live your full life and then having low hum constant, you know disappointment, discomfort because of that. And the other one is action, where you choose the discomfort. You're like, away, bring it. And then because you're willing to do that, you're constantly, moving towards your best self, growing stronger in body, in mind, in spirit. So thank you so much for sharing that as well, Toast, and for giving me opportunity to share that. Mm, Uncle Becky is here. Don't know Weezer. Say it ain't so. You'll have to share with me, friend. I mean, I have never claimed to be infallible. Please do share. I feel like you might enjoy some Weezer melt. Sweater song, Undo. Undone is the actual name of it, I think. Please do share it with me. I would love to hear. Boop boo, it's nice to have you here. I have been waiting for this, and we've been waiting for you, friend. Thank you for joining us again. It's so nice to show up with you today. Storms make trees make deeper roots. Storms make trees take deeper roots. My friend Dolly Parton. Getting whipped around a little bit makes us sink our feet even deeper. Gooses is. Yeah, glad you played it, but same, so glad. Last night, I had one where I was in bed and I thought it was real. I had the overwhelming feeling I have to get up and I have to get to the door and I couldn't move or hardly speak and I pushed harder and then I feel I ever could and broke the spell and woke up. I've had that one recently as well. Like maybe not that recently, like maybe oh, actually, it was in last October during my last tea break. I also had that sleep paralysis and in my own bed. That was the weirdest thing. I didn't find myself anywhere else. I could, I felt like I was in my body, in my room, but I couldn't move. And I was like, this is not right, and I couldn't speak either. And then I started screaming again. For some reason, I start screaming when I'm in sleep paralysis. And I screamed and I screamed, and I could hear myself scream in my waking life. And then I stopped. And I realized, wait a second, I'm doing this to myself. And as soon as I admitted that, I was like, awake again. And I was like, okay, okay, brain, thank you for the lesson. I'm the one that's paralyzing myself. And I was like, okay, thank you. Little bit of a dick move teaching it me teaching it to me that way, but I guess the lesson landed. Your hairstyle, too good, Yar. Thank you, friend. I appreciate it. It's a little bit of a mess today, I feel, some frills all over the place, but it do be like that sometimes. I can't wait to share a smoke on that day as the oh goodness, Lisa. I'm going to probably, sit down, super zen style, and just roll joints for 4 hours and 44 minutes, and then we're going to all get absolutely amazed. Oh, I'm guessing you're talking about day 444 as well. What is your day job? This is my day job, Albob, and probably very soon I'm going to become a yoga instructor as well. Your shirt is lovely. Yar, thank you, friend. I appreciate you sharing so much love. Hey, Jojo, sending love as well. I think you might have sent me a Discord message as well. It's been 30 minutes since you sent love in this space as well. I don't know if you're still here, Jojo. We appreciate you being here with us. Jojo, so much love being shared. Even Dwarf, someone is supposed to be coming to see me tomorrow. So send good vibes. I don't get stood up again. What is that? So V, and then it has a thing around it, and it was, moving. So dwarf, I believe, I believe that's good vibes coming your way. Do receive all of the good vibes. I can call you on that. It's so fun. Cassie D. Yo, that's true actually. I like that as well. Cassie D. I think I might use that as well now because it feels a little bit more personal than just saying dwarf. Taking the day to feel good is my intention. Hope you're staying safe and warm, buddy. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you, Toast, for sending that love, perpetuating that love. Love yourself, my dear. Hope you're enjoying it. There we go. I think the best thing about smoking weed is the lack of dreams and nightmares. I feel that way as well, actually. And, like there is a, for the longest time, human beings have been considering the significance of dreams. And for the first time, we now have the technological capacity to actually analyze them. Like if you friends, like neuroscience, uh, I cannot look away from the advances being made because I'm so fascinated by the brain. They have the ability, in a very rough way, to recreate dreams now, where after someone have dreamed, they can, tell them that it seems you were dreaming about characters, and then you were dreaming about writing in a book, and then you were dreaming about being in a classroom, and then they ask the person, or they write these things down, and they ask the person what their dream was, and they're like, "Oh, I was dreaming that I was at school again, writing an important test." Na 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 na. So we actually are getting the ability to start analyzing our dreams retroactively, and the second thing that comes up in my mind is, how important is that? Is it important enough for us to be sacrificing exorbitant amounts of hours trying to analyze our dreams, or are we going to get to the point where, as we're sleeping, we have some sort of artificially intelligent algorithm, or just AI in and of itself, analyzing these dreams, and then as we wake up, it's like, oh wait, dude, you dreamed this, this, and this, and that. Generally it means these things, and it could be that you're experiencing such and such in your life, so maybe pay attention to that. And I feel that could be very important, for us trying to better ourselves, trying to expand our consciousness as well. Thanks. Sending so many charged with crispy finished spring sun rays. Thank you. Of course, Jojo would say something like that. I love that. My favorite part of not smoking is dreaming. It's crazy to me how, that is what's important to us as well. How we have now both perspectives. We have one friend enjoying smoking because of the lack of dreams and nightmares. And the other way around, we have one friend not smoking so that we could experience dreams and potential nightmares. Thank you, Boop. We appreciate you for sharing that. I tend to think of weed as a good hot sauce or a little extra gravy on mashed potatoes. Just makes good things that little extra bit better. I feel the same way, Ninja Nanner. But sometimes, if I need hot sauce to enjoy my meal, then I'll go without the hot sauce so that I can learn that the meal is enjoyable in and of itself. So that when I get to have hot sauce again, I enjoy the hot sauce even more. As you know, Corey. It's the worst and best part for me. Depending on the night, there we go. Aunt B is like, yes, I could collapse into one of these dualities, but I'd rather be the infinity. I appreciate so much. Thank you, friends, for providing all of the perspective. You're so right. Nom nom nom. Definitely. I understand. I'm fortunate enough not to really have nightmares, so I'm sure my opinion would be different if it was the case. I, for the longest time, believed I didn't have any nightmares, boob. And then with my last tea break in October, I was having some nightmares. You know, they weren't necessarily nightmares, but they were a little bit disturbing. I had to kill people, and I had to morph into different beings. I was trying to kill myself. I wasn't accepting help in some of those dreams, and even though they could be seen as nightmares, looking back at them now, I feel they maybe just showed me that there is so much to my experience. And again, with the information I gained today, instead of seeing those nightmares as a bad thing in and of itself, I now see them as perspective to how bad things could be. And then with that perspective, I can notice and appreciate how bad things aren't. And just trying to complete that infinite loop. Melt, I'm going to share a picture of food I took last night to the Discord. Proper portions and mindful eating is a full-on hobby of mine. Please do share that with us on B. It's been so nice. Today, I had some leftover chicken with a salad, and I added some eggs to that. Then I had a mango, a banana, and a peach. And then after that, I had a protein shake with an egg in it, and that I ate like in 3 hours. So I don't know if that's properly portioned, but I'm losing weight rapidly. So I'm trying to up my calorie intake a little bit. Thank you for being willing to share, Aunt B. I would love to see. That was my first curiosity too. Amazing to find out the story of this guy. Like Ryan, it's trippy. Goodness, this fly! I saw him like come out of a loop, hit me in the face. Like, you're a part of that story now, Ryan. You're a part of that story now, my friend. So you're right. It is an amazing story. I was trying to find a proper description. Motivational speaker just doesn't seem to cover it. Perspective enhancing speaker. How about that one? I'm not trying to necessarily just motivate, but to enhance perspective in any way I can. Okay, I'm gonna go smoke. Have a good weekend, everyone. Hey, hey. Thank you, Jojo, for living vicariously for us. I don't think I used that word correctly. We live vicariously through people. You know what? I'm gonna stand by. Thank you, Jojo. I've been trying to catch your mornings, show love. I got to catch Jojo, I think yesterday, day before yesterday for a little bit, and in the same way, people are like, "What drugs are you on, Jojo?" And I was just in that moment, I was like telling this dude, "Drugs don't make you do anything that you're not capable of doing yourself." Can't. You can do anything you can do on drugs as well. Literally anything. It's you as a human being. That's the interesting one. The drugs are just hot sauce. Just hot sauce. Yeah, I'll send this mama some calming thoughts. Emma had her first overnight trip school this weekend. Uh, you know what? So, at first I saw a mushroom cloud, Aunt B, and then on top of that mushroom cloud, I saw these rings form that looked like a halo. So I'm gonna share that halo. Like even in this potentially explosive feeling that you're feeling, there can be a silver lining, a halo to that as well. I'm sure she'll be fine. Thank you so much, Aunt B, for giving us the opportunity to send some love your way. Gowdy goo for the starstruck. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend. How are you doing, brother Bear? Listening to Meltmore reminisce about the Incredidad album. Got all kinds of feels. Incredibad. Natalie, I feel like I'm tripping out. Might be missing something. Michelle, it will be fine. You will be fine as well. Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you, Michelle. I'm excited for her. I think she's gonna have an amazing time. I was there for 2 months. Didn't want to leave. It's a really, really, really cool place. Sedona. I don't think I know. Like my mind doesn't give me any reference for where Sedona is. Lonely Island album. Oh, maybe that's it. Thank you, Mariah. And like I touched the phone just as you sent that as well. Yeah, I agree, Natalie. Like Lonely Island. It's sad to me that they're no longer making music, but the music that they did make is so comical. Like I imagine showing that to my kids one day and then being like, "Oh, that's what's wrong with you, Dad." We understand now. Thank you, Dad, for illuminating us. I was there for 2 months, however, the one. Thank you for the all-seeing upvote, Airborne. A Kelly is here saying, "Rejoice, sweet mama. She is going to make amazing memories. Your heart will burst when she is home safe and excitedly sharing all of the experiences in her first taste of independence." Whew. Being a kid and being away from your parents, having to be your own person, because like Emma is at that age, where she's no longer a kid. She's a whole person of her own right now, and we have to remember that sometimes. And I feel like I'm speaking from a place of extreme ignorance, obviously, because I don't have kids myself. But it's something that we were talking about in the last podcast we did, me, Christian, and Johan, about being parents and how there is this transition period where you still want your child to be this child, that doesn't know what's going on in the world and doesn't have the ability to make decisions for themselves. But as soon as they turn 12, 13, 14, they become a person of their own and they have to start making decisions for themselves, have to try and find out how this world is going to work. So it's very important for us to allow them to do that. I'm so grateful that my parents allowed me to do that as well. I mean, I feel like sometimes they did it unknowingly, but I'm so grateful that they did nonetheless. Having some anxiety today. I have a doctor's appointment. Medical stuff really freaks me out. Wish me luck. Good luck, Brother Isaac. See a flower. Good luck to you, my friend. You're constantly blooming. You'll be completely okay. Not here for long this time. I really need to get to bed. I hope you all are doing well and have a great day. This is as amazing as you are. Thank you. Boop, have a good night, my friend. Like, unfortunately, Boop is in Australia, so when he or she is tuning in, it's like 2 a.m. Usually, like 2 a.m. So thank you for staying up and for joining us in this space, even for a moment, my friend. We will treasure the towel we labeled with his name for Shell Jr. for a school overnight trip. That's so amazing. And I remember I also had a towel with my name on it. I don't know where it is right now, but it was also something significant. Like I was put in the hostel as a 13, technically 13-year old at the start of my high school. I went to the hostel. So I not only got allowed to make my own decisions, but I basically moved out of the house at 13 and got to live with other men, other boys, between the age groups of 13 and 18. And the 18-year-olds were the ones that were ontgroening us, which basically means like to degreen, whatever that means. Like we're new little saplings, and they're trying to zap the green out of us or whatever, trying to turn us into brown trees. I'm trying to pull too much information from this, but it was surreal. It was so surreal seeing these absolute barbaric animals after having some level of stability in my normal, parental life. Something died. Like my friend, breathe through the worry and be your own biggest advocate. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that love. Thank you so much. She is going to a floriculture competition at the Houston Live Stock Show. So it's going to be a great time. That sounds amazing. Floriculture. I'm guessing, you know, cultivating flowers. Like that's the information my brain provides. Like I cannot even imagine how cool that must be. Fun. Can't wait to hear about her adventure. It sounds amazing. That helps. You're good, homie. No stress. No need to stress too much. It's going to work out one way or another. That it is. That it is. None of it's dangerous, my friend. I started Sinsane's book yesterday. It gave me goosebumps. I believe it's a gift to humans. So raw and honest and important. I had no idea what I was going to read. Shell, so like it's interesting you say that because Kelly suggested that she would like to buy me the audiobook as well. Not the audiobook, the ebook as well, so I can start reading on my phone. But I would rather wait for the physical copy to arrive and then read from that as well. So don't spoil. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for like hyping it up for me as well. You're right. Thanks, man. I never understood, but medical facilities make me feel like a pup at the vet. I mean, it's clinical. It's something that has so much potential anxiety attached to it, with us knowing what that space is for. So you're not, weird, if you will, in that Isaac. So glad to hear that. Can't wait to get ours. Same. Same. We have Cable's live reading for his book, Mind Death of the Body and Soul, in 1 hour. Okay, so it's going to be at 6 my time. I would like to show up for that as well. Literally, my entire life has been dreams like that. Not even bad anymore, just intense and hard to wrap my head around. Sometimes way too real. And I'd wake up and sleep again, and it starts all over again. Those ones, like sometimes I enjoy them, having some continuity if I go back to sleep and I have the same dream. But if it's one that you're not appreciating, it's a little bit jarring. But maybe, there's still information to be gained there. I knew you'd love yoga, Esty. And how freaking long have I been telling you to do it? Lisa, I know you knew. But I wasn't supposed to do yoga before. I genuinely believe that. I knew as well that yoga was going to be a big part of my life, but I was waiting for a teacher, and Ryan, came into my life to be that teacher. And I don't believe I would have had so much love, appreciation, and dedication to yoga if I started practicing before. And now having, Ryan as a teacher every morning has opened me up to understanding why yoga is so beneficial. Thank you. Thank you for having taught me, this truth for so long, Lisa. You saw it as well, my friend. Same. The sterile smell gets me. That's the first thing I thought about as well. First thing, like that uh rubbing alcohol smell. The more calm you get, the easier and faster it can be done to take care of yourself. That's true. That's true. I also haven't been to the doctor in. Okay, so technically, I went to the doctor in China. I had like an extreme amount of pain, and he took like an X-ray, and one of my teeth was like, away, we're going sideways. Fortunately, my body was like, away, let's not do that, and flipped it upwards, and now it's coming out the right way up. But yeah, that was the last time I saw a doctor, and it was weirdly enough, even though I was literally in a Chinese hospital and my doctor was speaking Chinese at me, I felt like I was gonna be taken care of. Like I didn't have any, concern. I was like, yeah, these people actually want to help. And I think I paid like 120 RMB, which is like 240 rand, which is like 20 bucks for my entire session. My X-ray, my medication, and my, diagnosis that I have a teeth growing sideways. Like all of it in one. And I was like, wow, 20 bucks? Really? So China actually does have that figured out. They do try to take care of their people. I find I am in my most intense and violent self in my dreams. Me too. It makes me nervous. I've had many yikes incoming murder dreams. Like it's crazy to me that you shared that. I don't know. You probably shared that as I was sharing, my dreams as well. Always defending someone or standing up for myself. But I try to be such a gentle person. It upsets me. I feel that, friend. And I feel again, it just informs us of what's important to us. Like after we go through a dream like that, although it might be jarring, it might be a bit of a yikes. It just shows us again that that is not who we want to be, and it reaffirms, reconsolidates, melts into us, with the ability to not even be able to remove it. That is not what we want to be. True, true. I'm trying to approach it with a self-love standpoint. Thank you so much. Thank you, Isaac, for being willing to, my friend. Glad you're so glad when it's done. I believe that as well. Bit of a yikes, but I don't think it means you're actually violent. I think it means things are changing and you're killing off old parts of your life, not necessarily people. I feel that as well. It's trippy to me again, the synchronicities. Stop fucking reading my mind, Isaac. You got this, AP. Yes, you do. Very true. I can't put off anymore. Jasmine will kill me before any illness will. It's just like, how dare you? How dare you not take care of yourself? If you die, I'm gonna freaking kill you. True love right there. Oh yes. What about the way I act in your what about the way I act in your dreams? So I'm happy that you're saying that, Corey. You wake up and your wife is angry at you because you did something in her dream. Why are you angry at me? It wasn't me. You were the one who was dreaming. And Corey is like, huh? What about this? Mm. I look at it like that. I'm not violent. I hate violence. I think it's a matter of emotions. I don't like to feel coming out in dreams. I'll prefer that over real life. I agree completely. Like the subconscious is an infinite playroom where we can pretty much experience anything, if everything, and it gives us the ability, gives us almost like, I believe, when we dream, it like builds or activates neuronal structures, and that neuronal structures stay, or the ability to activate them in that way. So when you find yourself in a circumstance that is similar, it can utilize those neuronal structures, those little fractals that you've built in your head in that moment, so that you can make a more educated decision. So know that there is, nothing wrong with you dreaming anything. You're building, friend. You're growing. What time is it reading? In 27 minutes, I believe. Thank you so much for asking on like Jovan. And Frankerner, hello to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Dream Corey is an asshole. And again, Ninja Peach, you're building these neuronal patterns so that if dream or if waking life Corey is an asshole, you have the means to deal with it. You've experienced extreme assholiness from Corey at this dream state. So even if he's not that way, he can be gentle with you, like in your normal waking life. Good day, banana. Yes. I chased my snoo yesterday or a few days ago. And Franker, it's nice to have you here, friend. Good day to you. Indeed. Example, last night I had a dream. I was in a cave, which was a bong shop. Ooh. Ooh, that's so cool. Like a bong shop somewhere in a cave, and you have to like venture into a jungle to find this bong shop. Like that, ooh, that sounds like a whole trip in itself. Okay, continue. And they had bungs with smaller bungs inside smaller bungs into infinity. And I kept pulling bungs out of bungs and saying, it's a bong and a bong and a bong over and over. I also was feeding Marley butter in a bottle. Make sense of that? I mean, so do try and make sense of that. You know, the first dream, I feel our brains give us perspective like that, you know, to show us, in a way, infinity. It's like, a way, you know, there's so much infinity all around you, but because you're in this limited form, you forget about it, you're unaware of it. So you have dreams like that where you have a bong and you have a bong inside and you have a bong inside the bong so that you can kind of grasp on a physical level how infinity would look. And the butter in the bottle for Marley, like maybe subconsciously, you know, the keto thing, yesterday's conversation about going keto might have landed with you because technically your Marley would be able to do that. You know, it's weird and I wouldn't recommend it at all. But if you fed Marley, you know, melted butter in a bottle, she would actually live that way and she would thrive. She would, like, her body would start producing ketones from that fat. You know, you would have to try and supplement some protein in there as well. But maybe that's where it came from. Ha! Sense made, at least from my perspective. How about that? Jasmine had similar experiences. I'm always being passive aggressive and mean in her dreams. I tried to reintroduce the opposite before bed. That's beautiful, Isaac. That's the way it's supposed to be. And again, you know, it's perspective. It tries to give them enough information so that the normal life that you spend with one another is in like a contrary to that, in contrast to that, showing you again what's actually important to you, you know, showing you in your waking life how important it is that your significant other isn't that way. Oh, Corey's literally the nicest person, especially to me. He's never been mean to me, yet in my dreams he's so mean. That's why. It's just contrast, you know. Your brain is like, damn it, it's this person is so freaking awesome to me. He has to be, you know, this mean person in the dream. Apparently, I do weird stuff in my sleep, like using a work sock as a remote to turn down the volume. He's like, I see you like picking up this sock, you know, straightening it out, pressing it. Okay, well, yeah, what the hell? Weezer has two great remake CDs, and they're great. Please do share with me, Lisa. Maybe like on the music tab. I have somewhat of an opposite where Uncle Becky is so romantic and attentive, and then we wake up. Uncle Becky is just in his own head on me, you know, and we have the capacity to be very loving and attentive, but there's so much going on inside our minds, literally all of the time, that we can get lost. We we get lost sometimes. So like I'm happy that you're still compassionate and loving with him. The universe makes sure you're extra grateful for his kind nature. What's important? That's what it is. That's incredible. Oh my goodness. I wish she had those. Maybe she'd wake up all lovely instead of upset. I counteract dreams by making coffee for Peach or clearing off the snow on her car before I go to work. Your friends are such inspirations. Thank you so much. No, no, no. It's a setup. That's the way to do it. Such a good partner. Glad that you do that. Genuinely. You know, being able to do something for another person, even without, you know, expecting anything, just for them to have a better time. It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Cracking me up. Huntley. Those are the things that matter most. So thoughtful. Absolutely. Peach is a wonderful, loving person, but like many, doesn't like to be approached before having coffee. Walks in, trembling, you know, coffee on a extended plate of a stick, you know, eases it into the room. You hear it being snatched, getting sucked up. Peeks into the room, sees if the coffee is actually finished. Make sure that you don't get, you know, blasted. Cracking myself up, all in the love, absolutely. Oh, of course. How could you not love that beautiful bearded man? He really is an amazing friend, father, and lover. I love getting to do life with him. Getting to do life with someone. What a beautiful way of seeing, you know, a partnership. It's not just, you know, you are choosing one another, but you get to do life together, creating that other side of the infinity. That's so sweet. Lisa, good morning to you. our beloved friend. It's so nice to have you here. How are you doing, my friend? I hope one day I share words with both of you in person. Oh, we will, Isaac. We're actively manifesting it, friend. With the amount of power we've been putting into the world, I would be surprised if it doesn't happen. You two are so beautiful to see together. It's a genuine treasure. The same goes for you, Corey. Same goes for you, Isaac. Same goes for you. I think Baked Potato as well. Having seen a little bit of their relationship as well. Same goes for you, Toasty. For you, Jovan. Like, you friends are absolute inspirations, showing me how happy we can be in relationships. Yes, floriculture, they learn all different types of flowers and plants, how to do bouquets, counterpieces, mounts, and more. Plus, how to price, order proper amounts, and she loves it. What a beautiful way, to create that is as well. Because you're creating these arrangements and you're providing a service in that as well. So you're helping people create more beauty in, all of those circumstances in, weddings, I don't know what centerpieces are necessarily, and potential even funerals. Oh, centerpieces are like a flower bouquet in the center of a table, like at an event or something, right? Yeah, man, that makes me happy. Thank you, Aunt B, for sharing that with us. I'm happy that she's enjoying it. Hey, potato, love being shared. Could use more sleep. Trying to get the schedule back on track though. Day by day, literally 30 minutes by 30 minutes, just by going a little bit. You freaking asshole. Got that McBitch. He freaking did damage though, so I'm gonna itch still. But you get wrecked, oh? Suck my blood? Get dead. Be that a warning to all mosquitoes! You step on this turf, you die. Don't tread on me. Don't you freaking tread on me. Nova! Nova, Nova, brother bear. I've missed you so much. I've been thinking about you a lot. Thank you for joining us again. Did you ever watch Salad Fingers? Unfortunately, I did. Mariah. Like, I feel I've watched something worse than Salad Fingers, and it's called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And then another few artists is like Meat Canyon and Flash Kids. I think there might be another one. But yeah, disturbing animated series is still, again, showing us what's important. Some contrast. Sup, Meltmore, how you doing? Better than any tarot reading. Reader, thank you, friend. You are love Nova. It's so nice to have you here again. How are you feeling, friend? I was thinking about you today in context of trauma. Like, it's so crazy to me. So, man, this podcast, like, ooh, moment after moment after moment, there's so much information coming back to me. One of the things they were talking about in the context of trauma is that we as human beings don't know who to blame. Like, we don't know who to blame for that trauma, where in our neuronal pathway we feel this pain, and because we're the ones feeling that pain, we feel responsible for it. When in fact, that pain was caused to us externally, and it creates a contrast, a pain within inside of ourselves because of that. So, Nova, I wish I knew I could say that to you last time, but you're not the one responsible for your trauma, friend. I hope you believe that. I hope you know that intrinsically you're not the one at fault. I love you so much, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I wonder what we were thinking about, and also congrats on 2 subscribers. Thank you, Nova. Thank you, friend. Yeah, like we're fluctuating up and down to hit that 777. And every single time I get that message again, I'm like, thank you for the synchronicity universe. So happy you found your yogi Estian. And where can I try his vinyasa? So, if you want to try and join us with that yoga sessions, Lisa, there is actually in the Streams Come True Discord tab, he posts a link to a Zoom meeting. Please, if you'd be willing to join us, we would love to have you there. It would be so great. This is beautiful, living the dream. I've been so lucky to love so far and often healed from round one, and I cannot wait to see what the next great love of my life has in store. Love is magic, and true, true, true. Bruh, bruh, do you not value your life? Oh, you need to not. You listen. You actually listen. Thank you. I respect you for that. Maybe I should start doing that. Mosquitoes, like I am completely okay with you, doing whatever. But if you come over here, you might you might die, you know? In fact, I want you to die if you come. So rather not. How about it? Can we make a deal? You stay all the way there, and I stay here, and then we both live. Okay? Okay. Is your name Lisa too? It is. It is. You're right, actually, baked potato. Management Annie is Lisa as well. Friends, help me see the absolute best that is available in life. Genuinely, Aunt B, thank you for doing that for me as well. I had a conversation with Scorpio, and I mentioned to him that I see an awakening happening in humanity right now, where we're all waking up to this reality that love is true, that we are sharing this heart, sharing this awareness amongst all of us. And he was in his own, like philosophical way, in opposition to that, believing that the opposite is happening, like people are falling deeper asleep. And I basically said to him as well, you are, or the world is as you see it. And because we show up in this space, and you friends showing me the best, available human beings in this life, that is what I'm seeing. That is what my mind is constantly being aware of. Is like, oh, love is actually true. There's all of these loving beings, all of these beings that care for one another, all of these beings that are showing up for one another, and doing so without any expectations, and like, even if someone doesn't show up for months at a time, as soon as they come back into the space, we welcome them with open arms, having no resentment, having no, like, aversion to that. And it's so beautiful. I cannot thank you, friends, enough. There he is. There she is. Thank you for joining us, Katie. So nice to have you here. Good morning, you gorgeous, sexy, amazing, beautiful, lovely people. Thank you. No, you. No, you, Katie. It's a me, Mario. Oh, Katie. Haywire Hill will be exploding. There it starts. Will be exploding with every color of nature has to offer when she comes home, mega motivated by all of that beauty. I've always been a flower garden girl, veggie this here for the first time. Kelly, I think you'll love it. You'll genuinely love it, being able to eat, foods from your own garden. And technically, vegetables start from flowers, and then that little flower gets pollinated, and then it turns into the vegetable. I don't believe trauma is created within. I believe it's created by your circumstances, where you were during that period of time, physically and mentally. It can be a complete circumstance and coincidence or coincidence. You're right, Nova. You're right, my friend. Like, the only, message that I felt I needed to share with you is that it's not your fault. And to all of you friends, the traumas that we've been through is not our fault. The things that people did to us is not our fault. No matter what. No matter what. You are a divine being. Hey, talking about divine beings, Dan. It's so nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling, my friend? How are you doing? I know you. Know you. I still want to punch him in the throat sometimes. Oh, if you didn't on B, the spark would fall away. That fire, that burning between you two. We need that opposition, that contrast sometimes as well. My trauma was circumstantial, not coincidental. Yes, I agree, Nova. I had to think about that for a second, because you were in circumstances, and then those circumstances, because you had a certain expectation from your loved ones to be in a certain way and them not being that way, the circumstance alongside those expectations caused the trauma. Speaking of garden, I'm out. I love you guys. Everyone have an amazing day. Have an amazing day, Mariah. Thank you for sharing this space with us for as long as you did. Go and have a good one. I appreciate you. Go and share light. I know you will, even with the little plants. I feel the self-awareness, lady. Weezer and Tom Petty. I listen to Tom Petty, Isaac, and I know Tom Petty actually. Like this morning as well. This morning, before I started listening to my podcast, I was like, Isaac actually went and listened to, Fish in a Birdcage, and I haven't went and listened to Tom Petty yet. So I, started listening to Tom Petty. I think I listened to his most popular song, and I can't, render the rhythm, unfortunately. But I know Tom Petty. Thank you, Isaac, for sharing with me. Nonetheless, I was happy to actually now know his name. Coincidental trauma can be you seeing someone be murdered in front of you, being robbed at gunpoint, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. I agree with that, my friend. You see, I agree completely. But it's not your fault. Even though you were where you were and you chose to be, well, okay, now we're now we're easing into the whole taking full responsibility for everything as well. Let me like what's coming to me right now is some Stoic philosophy and Seneca specifically, where he says men, or just human beings, are not bothered by the things that happen, but by their thoughts about the things that happen. What they think about the thing. And it's very difficult for us to, not think that's a big yikes when we see someone being murdered. But it's because we think that's a big yikes that it becomes a big yikes in our lives. And it's a difficult and very sensitive topic to talk about. Oh, of course, so much love being shared. Most of the time, I want to kiss him. Just bring awareness of the balance. It's necessary. On B, you're so beautifully living into the infinity. Also, thank you, Mel, for asking about my headaches. They left last night. I've done whatever I needed to do. I'm so happy to hear that, Isaac. You have my friend. And interestingly enough, I feel because you're taking a break from the cannabis, it's almost like they go hand in hand. Like we knew we needed to do a tea break. And that headache was informing me as well that, hey, dude, you need to do a tea break. So the fact that we're doing that and the fact that our headaches went away with that, us honoring ourselves, honoring our intrinsic feelings, it makes me so happy. Thank you, Isaac, for being able to share that with us. I love Mel Special. Thank you, Adbi. I appreciate you so much. As I closed my eyes just now, I saw a little heart for you as well. Thank you for being willing to share that love back. Oh my gosh, I'm gushing over these lovely ninjas, right? It's just melting me, absolutely melting me. Seriously, so thoughtful. Do a backflip. Okay, plate. I did a backflip yesterday, friend. Like you get one backflip every infinitum, and technically, infinitum can be 10 seconds from now, or it can be 10 billion years from now. Show up and find out. I left cause I'm making coffee. Are you actually making coffee? Like, ground coffee? Or are you drinking some freeze dry coffee? I'm curious. Not that I'm judging either or. I was just having this exchange with my mom where she asked me if she can make me some coffee. And I was like, yes, please. And she made me, some coffee from some freeze dried coffee. And I was like, oh, making me lazy person coffee. I see, kind of like playing with her. She's like, what? I'm making you coffee. Don't you complain? And she finished my coffee, and like I started drinking it, and it was a really good coffee. And I'm like, thank you, mom. This coffee is amazing. You definitely made it with love. And she's like, oh, I'm happy to hear my lazy person coffee is good enough. Oh, I'm also impressed that they study casket mounts for funerals. A beautiful contrast in love, and it's beautiful to share and it's available to share. It's interesting to me as well because in the same way where death is something that's very tragic to us, it can be seen as this flower, if you will, maturing and then being plucked. And we don't pluck you know flowers that have already been dead and part of the ground again. We pick flowers as they're in their most beautiful form. Whew. Maybe that's a whole stream for another day. Thank you for allowing me that perspective on B. Honestly, she loved me for who I was when we met and had supported me in becoming the person I am without pushing what she wanted me. What she wants. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The person I am without pushing what she wants me to be. Also, always supportive and loving, with a push when needed. She makes me want to be better. I feel I'm already trying to do that as well, Corey. And it's so surreal to me that I'm actively trying to better myself for my future significant other as well, because I believe I want to be as full of a person as I can be when I meet her, so that I can absolutely explode, trying to be even more full, when the day comes. You have to put the mosquito carcass where the others will see it to make a point. Leave them on the wall, body splattered on the wall. Watch. See this? Example. Example made. There on me. I'm so behind on the stream, like 45 minutes. It's so fun keeping with the comments and being that behind on the video. Like I feel like I'm 8 minutes behind right now, Isaac. So it's not too far anymore. The most real example of true love. Oh yes, it is. Oh yes, it is. Absolutely. Mosquitoes and fleas, I have no problem killing, unfortunately. Same. Like if you're a parasite, if you continue by taking from me without my permission, then that's a bit of a yikes. And I don't know if we've shared this as well. If I could, form a contract with these mosquitoes and be like, away, from this hour to this hour, you can drink as much blood as you want to, but no itching, please, and no bacteria being injected into me and stuff. No malaria. Would be a vibe, please. you know, then I would be completely okay with it. I have a lot of blood, and my blood, like, I would literally, probably replace my blood as fast as they can drink it. So I wouldn't have a problem giving some blood to them. But the itching, like, and the thing is, like, let me show you. You see that? That is a little, hole I've scratched it myself because there was a little hump from this mosquito, and as that, it still itches days after that thing bit me. That's rude, yo. That's very rude. So if you're gonna do that to me, expect to die. Expect to die. Now I'm sad. Whoa. I wish I didn't spend $8 on some tarot reader. It wasn't worth it. And I was about to send a donation, and it closed when I saw 111. Spirit already gave me my answer, but I still paid anyways. Now I'm sad. Oh, my friend, now you know. Don't think of it as, I've thrown this money away. Think I've purchased this understanding. I've purchased this understanding that another person isn't going to provide any more information to me than I can allow myself, just by paying attention to what life is trying to teach me. And for the same reason, I will always also, I don't think, at least, maybe from Guns and Lipstick, because I would like to support her, I would, pay for a tarot reading. But I won't pay for a tarot reading because I need guidance, or I need information. I have a deck of cards called Sacred Geometry that I would like to pull for you one day. No, but you know what? You know what? I would like to do it right now because I know, you can't show up all the time, Nova. It's probably like 2 a.m. where you are. Oh man, actually I can't. Actually I can't because in 3 minutes I have to stop the stream to go and join Cable. There is a black feral cat in the garage parking under my apartment. He's really nice and friendly, and I met him twice. And the first time he came up to me and meowed and let me pet him, and he was purring, rubbing. I don't know what you mean when you say he was rubbing, but that sounds amazing, Nova. You were putting out that energy like cats, like a wild cat or what did you say, feral? Feral cats don't, go up to random people if you're not putting out a loving energy. So that is a very beautiful indication of what you are. Against me, he's very cute. The second time I called out for me and let me rub his belly, and that means he trusts me. Exactly, Nova. Exactly that, friend. And that's not something you can fake. You're putting out that energy, friend. Love is true. Even the cat knows it. Thank you for sharing that with us. I do that often. Pop in. Please gonna die. Hey, Zen Noah. Good to see you, buddy. I think life shows us just like how a baby imitates its parents, kind of thing. Yo, zoomy zoomies, zoomy zoomy zoomies, woo, zoomy zoomy zoomy, zoomy 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 zoomy, zoomy zoomy, zoomy zoomy zoomy, zoomy zoom zoom, woo, zoom 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 zoom, woo, zoom 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 zoom, zoom 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 zoom, zoom 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 zoom. Okay. I've riled her up too much. Are you zoom 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 zooming? Zoom zoom. I think she's telling me that I have to finish the stream. Cable is going to go and read his book, or yeah, he's going to read his book of poetry. Love, death. No, love, death. Oh, yo. I can't remember the book's name completely, but it's going to be on Haywire Hill right now, like right now. He's going to read it. Please, friends, please do come and join us. I'm going to be there in a second. I love you, friends. Sorry for missing some of your comments. I'll read them afterwards. Thank you for joining me in this space, for sharing love with me, and for showing me that you find this space as important as I find you. I love you and look forward to seeing you in a bit. How about it? Love you, friends. Oh no! Oh yes! It's 3 a.m. here. Nova, maybe you need to go to sleep, my friend. Thank you for joining me. It's nice to have you here, Brother Bear. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. I know it's difficult, dude. Thank you for showing up nonetheless. Love you, friends. I'll see you again.